Hey guys, Matthew Lepre here and welcome to this training. So let me ask you a question. How would you like to build a profitable six-figure e-commerce store with extremely low risk and start making sales within 30 days, even if you have zero experience with online business? Well, if the answer is yes, then great, because you're going to get so much value with what I'm going to show you in this training. Okay, so if you're watching this video right now, you're probably in one of three categories. You might be an employee and you're stuck in a 9-to-5 job. And if you don't turn up to work, then you don't get paid. And you can't travel when you like, so that can be pretty frustrating because I don't know about you, but I love taking holidays. And you might also be frustrated because you have to deal with co-workers and bosses that really just make life harder. You might also be frustrated because the pay is very low for the amount of effort you put in and you feel like you're worth a lot more than what you're getting paid. And finally, and most importantly, is you might not actually enjoy the work that you do. Okay, so I was listening to the radio about a week ago and a statistic came up that 30% of people that are currently working as an employee actually don't like their jobs. And secondly, you might be a university or a college student and you're just basically trying to balance your work and study just so you can get by. And you might be frustrated because you're actually not making money while you're studying, right? And it's pretty frustrating because after all of this study, you might not even get a job after university and then you're going to be stuck with all the university fees. And look, I understand you want to get results now. You don't want to wait years and years because look, who wants to wait? Life's short. We just want to start reaching our goals and crushing as fast as possible. Or you're probably a startup entrepreneur and you want to make more money, but you haven't broke through yet. You've probably watched all the YouTube videos out there. Maybe you purchased some courses, maybe you read some online blogs and you're stuck because all the information out there is contradicting and all the people out there are teaching you different things that don't make sense, right? Or you've probably made some money here and there online, but that amount of money is not enough for you to quit your job or for you to live off. And something we have to remember is that business is a science. There's a formula. And if you do the things right, you're going to be successful. And if it hasn't worked for you yet, then that's fine. You just haven't found the right process. So regardless of which category you're in, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. And guys, just to show you what's possible, here's some of my results. So some days we make $15,000 to $20,000. Here's some screenshots where we made $70,000 in the past 4 days with one of our e-commerce stores. And again, here's some screenshots. So as you can see, every minute we have several orders coming through, and all these orders are $317. So it's pretty cool what we can do with just a laptop, right? And here's some of the publications that I've been featured in for my success in online business. So I've been featured in Entrepreneur Magazine, Forbes, CNN, news.com.au, Daily Mail, the Daily Mirror. Like, it's pretty crazy. I've been featured in all these articles around the world because I've been sharing my story and my success in how I've been able to make all this money with just a laptop and an internet connection, basically. And here's some of the articles that I've been featured in. So here's one on Daily Mail, and it says how a university dropout 26 went from juggling 3 manual labor jobs to now earning $122K a month. And here's an article that I was featured in an actual physical newspaper in Dubai. So this is 300,000 dirhams. That's the currency over there. And just another article from news.com.au. And what's pretty cool is that I've got to share my story with hundreds of business owners all around the world, and I've been able to teach them all the strategies that I've been using to grow my own businesses. And we've been getting amazing results all around the world. And I've also had the pleasure to share my story and inspire people all around the world. So here's some of the shows that I've been on. I've been on live news in America. I've been on a live TV show in Italy, another TV show in America here, sharing my journey. This one was pretty cool. So this is another TV show in Italy where it was my face on a big screen and there was a whole audience. So that was pretty awesome. And here's a talk show that I did in Canada. So this was a show in Canada, and I was in Thailand at the time when I was living there at the start of 2019. So again, it's been amazing to be able to share my journey with people all around the world. So you already know my name. I'm Matthew Lepre. I'm an entrepreneur from Sydney, Australia. I'm 27 years old. And look guys, I started from nothing. So I started from nothing and I grew my businesses to multiple 6 figures per month in less than 3 years' time. Okay, so before I move on, let me share a quick story with you. I'm going to share exactly how I got started in my e-commerce journey. And I want to share my story just so you know that the things I'm teaching you are from actual real life experience and it's not theory, all right? So this isn't theory. I'm teaching you real facts from real life experience. And I started from the bottom with no advantages and I built my way up here and I'm going to show you exactly how I did it, all right? So I followed what most people at my age do, basically what society teaches. So I followed the system. After school, I went to university. I studied a science degree. And after 4 years, I dropped out and I was stuck with a $40,000 student debt. That's right, $40,000. And at the time, I was living at home. So living at home meant I was actually supporting myself and my mother. So I had to start working full-time, 6 days a week, just to help my mum out with the bills and just so I could get ahead in life. And these are some of the jobs that I was working. So I was working 6 days a week at these various jobs. I was working at a cordial factory here on the left. In the middle, I was working at another factory where I was stacking boxes on trucks. This was crazy. This was one of the hardest, most monotonous and boring jobs I've ever done. And on the right is I found another job on the weekends where I was helping out a guy on his farm and I was actually emptying out all these pot plants. So I was grabbing each pot off the ground, pouring this into a wheelbarrow, taking that wheelbarrow and then dumping it out once it was filled. But ultimately, this was probably one of the worst jobs as well. And look, after a few months of doing all this, I thought, yeah, it's fine. I'm going to save up money, invest in property, and be rich at 30 or 40 years old. But I just realized that this is going to be the most boring thing ever, trying to work 5 to 10 years doing these jobs, trying to make money so I could invest in property and hopefully retire rich. No. Okay, so I realized life was so dull. I couldn't do this for much longer. Okay, so I just thought, what if I quit these jobs and start my own business, right? So that's what I went and did. So I quit my jobs. I had dropped out of university and I had set up a little home office in my bedroom. So this is where I worked on my first online business from. So I spent the last bit of money that I had on a laptop and I borrowed a friend's monitor and a friend's desk. At this time, I had no income. I had to cancel my health insurance. I canceled my gym memberships. And I really had to go back to zero and figure out how I was going to make it work. I really had no head starts at all. And at this time, I was $40,000 in debt. Okay, so remember that. So here's some of the photos that I took when I was starting my first few businesses. And let me tell you, these businesses totally failed. I had spent all the money I had plus more. So all the money I had sold my car. I invested all that money in these businesses too. I even took out a personal loan. Okay, so I took out a personal loan and I also borrowed money from my mum. So at this time, after these businesses had failed, I had about $20,000 in debt and then I had another $40,000 student loan. So at this time, I was $60,000 in debt. And so these first two businesses I had started had failed, and I was actually working like 12 to 15 hours a day trying to get these businesses to work. And ultimately, in the first 6 months, I just fell flat on my face. Like, look, they failed ridiculously. And that was the real low point for me. So I had spent everything I had trying to figure out how to start a business. I had no money, and I was still living at home. So at this stage, I had 2 failed companies. I was a university dropout. I had quit my jobs and I was still living at home with my mum. I had spent all the money I had and even more. So I was $60K in debt. And what was even worse is that my mum was telling me to go back to university and to get a job. And also all my friends were even doubting me as well. A lot of my friends, a lot of them were talking behind my back and actually saying to each other, like, what's Matt doing? There's no way he's going to make money online. He's wasting his time. Okay, so a lot of people didn't have belief in me, but I had belief in myself. And then one day, out of sheer desperation, just to make something work, and just to prove to myself and to my mum and to my friends that I had made the right decision to leave everything behind, to quit my job, to quit university, and to go into entrepreneurship. And then just one day, out of sheer desperation to make it work, I convinced my mum to max out her credit card and lend me $1,000 so I could join an online business coaching program and learn about e-commerce. So I learned the basics on how to set up an e-commerce store, on how to run advertisements, and after a few months, I was already making sales. So I got all that money I earned and I invested it back into more advanced new coaching programs, and then I started to make even more sales. And look, I became really good at this, and I couldn't believe it. For like a whole year, I had been just spinning my tires and trying to make something work with these other businesses, spending everything I had and more, and I just didn't get any traction. And then one day when I just turned to e-commerce and joined a coaching program and started to implement everything I learned, I was making consistent sales every single day from my bedroom. And look, within the first year, I was making about $10,000 a month. And now if we fast forward to about 4 years later, I'm doing over $300,000 a month. And in the next 12 months, it's pretty crazy, but we're due to make over $1 million per month. So this is going to be a $12 million a year business, all from my laptop. How crazy is that? And it wasn't just the money that was amazing. The best thing was that I was able to make dramatic changes to my lifestyle. So I paid my mum back, moved out of home, and I started to just turn up and do some amazing things. So I paid my mum back, moved out of home, and I started to really live life. I went bike riding through the mountains of Hawaii. I went rowing in crystal blue water in Canada. I traveled to Bali. I traveled to Thailand, all around the US, around Europe. And I really just had the best time of my life. So I drove some amazing cars around Dubai. I met some of the most well-known entrepreneurs as well in online business. So this was pretty amazing. And I also moved to Thailand for a month, and every single day I would just kick back on the beach, work a few hours, go for a swim. And this was just extraordinary. So basically I traveled all around the world and just had an awesome lifestyle. And it was pretty cool because I came from quite a poor background. We didn't have money growing up, especially coming from a single parent family. It was really hard to even get by when we were younger. And basically from coming from that to being able to travel the world and have freedom to spend money on everything I like, to have exactly what I want when I want. Wow, like this was incredible. I couldn't believe it. And here's some more photos. So here's the new car that I brought. I went to Vegas. Here's some of the parcels that we were shipping out at the time. And basically, I also went into an entrepreneur contest in the US. I was up against hundreds of other business owners and actually came first in that, and I won $25,000 US. So it's pretty cool. Like everything that I've done in the past year has really been exceptional, and I loved every second of it. And look, it's pretty crazy. So in less than 3 years, just to show you what's possible, this is what I've been able to do. So I went from being $60,000 in debt, living in my mum's home, after dropping out of university and quitting all of my jobs. So at that time, I had absolutely nothing going for me. In debt, nothing going for me. I was depressed. And then within 3 years, I had moved out of home, traveled to over 15 different countries, and making hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. And now it's my life's mission to help as many people as possible to make $100,000 per year online. Guys, let me tell you something, this is easily achievable. It might sound like it's crazy because it's 6 figures, but to make this per year online from your laptop, it's easier than any other job. And I need the right people that can help me to get students results. And I've teamed up with one of the best e-commerce entrepreneurs that I could find, okay? And as a team, it's now our goal to make sure that we can get as many people as possible to $100,000 a year as soon as possible. Okay, so that's the goal. We want to do it fast. And my partner's name is Stalon, and Stalon is 21 years old, so he's really young. And he's only 21, and within his first month of starting e-commerce, he made $300,000. And at the time, it was at university. So you could imagine if you make $300,000 in 1 month, I'm pretty sure you're not going to stay in university for much longer. So Stalon dropped out of university. He gave up his so-called dreams of becoming a bank manager. He's dropped out, and now he's a millionaire, and he just works purely from his laptop. And here's some of Stalon's results. So it's pretty crazy. In 1 month, he made 208,000 US, and this was his results in 50 days. So he done $358,000 US, and that's about $500,000 Australian. So in 50 days, Stalon done $500,000 Australian. So that's pretty exceptional. And it's not just our results. We have dozens of students who have also achieved great success from e-commerce. So here's one of our students, Nazil. So Nazil went from $0 to $1,500 per week with e-commerce. And he was a university student while he was building his businesses. And his main goal was just to supplement his income. But he started crushing it and making this money every week. And he recently purchased his first house, which is pretty amazing. And one of our other students, Jace. So Jace went from dead broke to an astonishing $15,000 per week. So imagine that. Imagine you could increase your income by $15,000 per week. So Jace was working and studying full time. He tried a few businesses here and there, but he ultimately failed. So Jace came for help, and now he makes $15,000 a week. And he's recently launched a new product. And this new product that he launched has already made $60,000 in just a very short amount of time. And another student, Ashwin, this is incredible. So this student is only 15 years old, and within 7 days, Ashwin went from $0 to making $2,000 per day. So Ashwin is crushing it, and he's only 15 years old, and he's consistently scaling and opening new stores. So without a doubt, Ashwin is going to hit 7 figures really, really soon. So my goal for you today is to learn about the 3-step system that we're using to generate millions of dollars per year by selling products online, and how you can get started within a day with barely any upfront costs or risk, even if you have no prior experience with online business, and using only your laptop and mobile phone, and without ever having to leave your home. So how does that sound? And what I'm going to teach you today is the exact same system that I use to make millions of dollars every single year from my e-commerce stores. And guys, this is really important. So right now, we are experiencing one of the most perfect transitions in the history of the world. And what I mean by that is some things have shifted out there, and it's made e-commerce just the perfect opportunity right now. So first of all, the retail market is changing. So right now, over 80% of American and Australian adults are now shopping online. So that's pretty incredible, 80%. So that's 4 out of 5 people are now shopping online. And the amount of total money spent online is set to double within the next 5 years. And you might be thinking, what does this mean? So this means that many physical stores are now losing money and becoming bankrupt. So huge stores such as American Apparel, Maya, Kmart, Toys R Us, and tens of thousands of other stores, they're going bankrupt. I'm not sure if you've seen it or if you've seen it in the news, but these stores are becoming bankrupt. So what does this mean? This means that there is a huge opportunity for small e-commerce entrepreneurs to open up an online store and grab some of the market share. So I hope you can see now that the e-commerce opportunity is huge. And right now, Statistica reports that the e-commerce industry is worth a whopping 3.4, not billion, but trillion dollars per year. And what's crazy is that it's predicted to double within the next 5 years. So guys, I hope you can really understand what's happening here. So we're in the midst of the biggest transition in the history of the world, and right now is the perfect opportunity to get in and start making money. If we wait too long, then we might miss out, okay? So it's important to realize how big this opportunity is. And guys, the internet has broken down the traditional walls. So anyone can now start an e-commerce business working from home with just a laptop and a mobile phone. And you also need an active internet connection, obviously. But we can basically reach anybody online through social media channels such as Facebook and Instagram for extremely cheap. And modern day technology means that we can now run a 7 or even an 8-figure e-commerce business from home without any expensive staff, any rents, or any insurances and overheads. So we can start a business with limited money. Okay, so for a few $100, we can start an e-commerce business. Whereas 20, 30, 40 years ago, if you wanted to start a business, let's just say a local bakery, you would need at least a few $100,000 to fit out the store, to buy all the equipment. You're going to have to hire several staff to run the business, and you're going to have to pay expensive rent and insurances week after week after week. And let's just say you want to start a Macca's franchise or a KFC. You're spending at least $500,000 to $1 million just to even start with that franchise. Like how, as a entrepreneur, as somebody that's younger in their 20s or 30s, how are you able to get this amount of money to start one of those businesses? Like it would be too hard to do. But that's fine because we can just take advantage of this opportunity that's in front of us right now. Okay, so right now is the perfect time to start your own profitable e-commerce store. And look guys, what I want you to do is just imagine yourself 3 years from now. Just picture yourself right now and think where you could be in 3 years. Because guys, the rapid transformation that I've made in 3 years is incredible. And I look at some people around me that I know, and they haven't moved an inch in the past 3 years. Nothing has changed for them. And you guys, right now, you have to make the decision that you're going to make a change. Like honestly, how would you like to have the transformation that I've had over the past 3 years in your life and in your business? Okay, so just imagine yourself 3 years from now and what life could really be like. You would no longer have to work that 9-to-5 job that you hate and you feel like you're not getting paid enough for. You would no longer have to go to university and study all these expensive degrees and not make any money in the meantime, and potentially not even find a job that's going to pay you that money back so you can pay off your debt. And finally, you won't be starting businesses up and losing money. And ultimately, just imagine yourself working 5 to 10 hours a week and making over 6 figures a year easily. Like achieving 6 figures a year is so easy if you follow a proven process and you put the work in. So guys, just imagine it. Imagine what you could do if you decided to make a change right now and just go all in and build an e-commerce business. And something that's important to know is that there's actually 2 different types of e-commerce. So when I first got started, I was doing the traditional e-commerce route. So I had to buy some bulk products to start with, and then I would sell them and ship them off to the customers. But there's a new way. Okay, so with the traditional e-commerce, you have to buy the bulk products at the start, which is a bit more risky just because you've got a small inventory of products that are with you. But there's a new model, which is the drop shipping e-commerce. So this is when a customer buys from your website. We then send the product from the supplier overseas directly to the customer's house. So we never even have to see the products. And this is perfect for beginners because it's very low risk and there's very low upfront costs. So anyone can get started with drop shipping. So you might be thinking, why e-commerce? So e-commerce is simple to get started with just a laptop and a mobile phone, and you can seriously launch your entire business within a day and start driving sales. And e-commerce is obviously the fastest growing type of business, as I've mentioned. We just went through all those different stats which show you that it's going to double within the next 5 years. And the cool thing about e-commerce is you can make money while you sleep. So I wake up, I check my phone, and there's just notifications going crazy of all this money that I've made in my sleep. So that feels incredible. And with e-commerce, you can work from anywhere in the world. As I said, I've traveled all around the world. I've lived in Thailand. I've lived in the US. It's pretty incredible. And what's even better is that you can work on your own time and you're going to have total freedom. Okay. And another cool thing about e-commerce is you can sell to people anywhere in the world. So hopefully you can understand the potential of this. This means unlimited scale versus a local business, which is obviously limited. So if you spent, let's just say you spent $1 million and you got a McDonald's franchise, your income is only limited to the people in that surrounding area that are going to come and purchase a Happy Meal or a cheeseburger meal. Okay. But if we have an online store, we have the entire world that can come and purchase our products, and we can make so much more money than anyone that has a McDonald's franchise, and our risk and our expenses are so much lower. Okay, so with an e-commerce business, you can control it from anywhere in the world, and it's not going to affect your income. You can control your own schedule, you have total freedom, and you can do exactly what you want when you want. All right, so let me first shatter some misconceptions that people have about e-commerce. So to run an e-commerce store, you need to have a university degree or fancy credentials. And yep, that's obviously not true. I dropped out of university and I've got no fancy business credentials. I studied a science degree, so I had no idea about business. Another misconception is to start an e-commerce store, you need a lot of money. That's definitely not true. You can start with just a few $100. And another misconception that people have is to run an e-commerce store, you need to package all the products yourself. As I just mentioned, with drop shipping, we get the product sent directly from the supplier to the customer. So we don't even have to see the product, let alone package it, right? And finally, a misconception that people have is you need a lot of capital and money to start your store. But again, you only need a few $100 to start a drop shipping store. So it's definitely one of the cheapest businesses that you can start. All right, so these are the misconceptions that people have about e-commerce, and guys, they are wrong. Okay, so they're totally wrong. These are not true. Okay, so let's cover exactly how to start your first profitable dropshipping e-commerce store from scratch and how you can make sales within 30 days. And what I'm about to show you is the exact same process that I've used to build multiple 6 and 7-figure stores, and this is the same process that all of our students also use. Okay, so it's a 3-step process. The first step of the process is we need to get our product right. Okay, so we need to find the right product from the right supplier. So we want to make sure that the supplier is credible and reliable and it's a good quality product. We want to make sure that the product has the right profit margins. If we're not making enough profits on the product, then it's probably not going to be worth it. So we want to do our research and make sure that there's a good profit margin in what we're going to sell the product for. We want to make sure that the product solves a problem. If the product solves a problem, then there's going to be more demand for the product. The higher the demand for the product means the more products that we can sell and the more money we can make. Okay, so that's important. Part 2 of the process is traffic. So what traffic is basically people coming to our website. So we need people coming to our website that are going to purchase our products. So it's important to have the right traffic source. The best traffic source that we've found is social media. In particular, we're talking about paid traffic. So running paid advertisements on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, and it's important that we put the right offer in front of the right audience. Okay, so once we put the right offer in front of the right audience, that's when we're going to start making sales. And the whole goal is for us to put $1 into ads and get at least $2 back. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Let's just say you went to the city, a local city, and you seen a special machine that looked just like this one. And every single time you put $1 in, $2 came out. So the question is, how much money would you put in? So have a think about that. And your answer should be as much as you can possibly afford. Like, there'd be no limits. Like, I'll go straight to the Commonwealth Bank, put my card in and just withdraw every single dollar I had, go back to this machine and just keep pumping it through all day, because if I put $1 million in, I'm gonna get $2 million back. Okay, so that's how it works, and that's what we have to keep in mind. A lot of people are afraid to spend money on ads, but look, if we have a proven process that's going to give us at least $2 back for every dollar we put in, then we want to go all in. And the third part of the process is automation. So it's important to have processes and systems in place. So having these in place is going to allow for scale, so we can scale and create more stores, and ultimately freedom. Okay, and we want to make sure that we don't get bogged down answering customer service emails. So that's why it's important to automate these things and get other people to do these things, so we have freedom. Okay, so the ultimate goal is freedom, and we can show you exactly how to automate it. And here's some examples of ads that we've been running. So as you can see, we've spent $27,000 here, and we've made $168,000. And on average, we have a 6.05 return on ad spend. So what this means is for every dollar we put in, we get $6.05 back. So this is running really, really well. Now let's move on and cover how we do dropshipping the right way. So there's 4 points that we want to keep in mind when we're doing dropshipping. The first one is we want to have a one product store. So we just want to have one store with one product, and we want to brand that whole specific store just for that product. Number 2, we want to use one traffic source to drive people to our website, and we're going to do Facebook and Instagram ads for this. So this is paid ads, and we run Facebook and Instagram ads all from the Facebook platform. Number 3, we want to make sure that we automate our store. So we want to hire virtual assistants. We want to use specific software that's going to put our store on automation, and it's not going to take much of our time, and the store can just keep running and printing out cash like an ATM machine. And number 4, it's important to find a mentor, because look, if you try to run Facebook ads and you don't do it right, you can lose a lot of money. And basically, if you don't know what you're doing, it's like gambling. And you got to think about it. Even Tiger Woods had a mentor. So if you think, oh, I don't need a mentor, think again. Even the best people in the world have mentors. And when you execute this correctly, the end result is 10, 50, 100, even 1,000 sales per day from your e-commerce store. And all you have to do is monitor your Facebook ads for 20 to 30 minutes a day, while you sit back and let your products ship automatically from your supplier directly to your customers. So look, I just want you to stop for a sec and just imagine it for yourself. Imagine sales coming through like clockwork, and you making money while you sleep. Imagine you growing your e-commerce dropshipping business and finally being financially and location free. And guys, that's what I've done. And guys, so there's 3 things you need for success. You need the right product, you need the right traffic, and you need to have automations in place. So these are the 3 things that you need. All right, guys, let's do some math. So let's look at the math required to make $100,000 a year, which is our goal. So as you can see over on the right, here's a table showing if we're making a certain amount of profit, how many sales would we need per year to reach these goals. Okay, so let's just say we're making $100 profit on a product. This would mean we need to do 1,000 sales per year. And to do 1,000 sales per year, this would mean we have to do 19 sales per week, which would round up to be 3 sales a day. Okay, so 3 sales a day is easily achievable. And look guys, when people work with us, we get them to $10,000 per month real quick. And once we get there, then we focus on getting to $100,000 per month, which is obviously 7 figures. And guys, look at that. 3 sales a day can get you to $100,000 per year. And look at this. So we make hundreds of sales per day. Here are some results. So as you can see in this screenshot here, we've done 560 orders in this day. And over here we can see, look, every single minute we have orders coming through for $300. Okay, so that's what's possible. All right, so now you have 2 options. So option number 1, you can go at this alone and spend tens of thousands of dollars, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to figure this out. getting frustrated and wasting 3 to 10 years of your life. Or there's another option, and that is you can learn the proven system from somebody who has not just done it, but actually mastered it and is one of the best in the world at it. Guys, I do this every single day. This is my life. I don't do anything else but learn how to make money online. This is what I'm the best at, and I've mastered it. This is all I do. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Who else wants a predictable sales machine that generates 10, 50, 100, even 1,000 sales per day on automation? Well, this is perfect for people who want to make more money, people who want to have a lot more freedom, people who want to reduce their workload and spend more time doing exactly what they love. Because right now I'm looking for a few more of my dream students where I can help them get these kind of massive results that I've shared with you. So that's why, for a limited time only, I'd like to work with you in a marketing strategy session if you meet the criteria that I'm about to show you. So to be my dream student, you must have the willingness to commit and follow every single thing we teach you step by step. Because what I teach works 100% of the time. And I can guarantee it, like, mark my words, this works. My dream student must be able to invest at least 45 hours per week to launch their store. And also you must have some startup capital for testing, and it's really advisable that you have a stream of income, such as a 9-to-5 or a side job, just so you can fund the initial launch of your store. And for testing Facebook ads, you want to have at least $300 to $400 sitting there so you can test the different Facebook ads until you find one that starts making a lot of money for you. Okay, so here's how the process works. We're going to be focused on a specific customized strategy and execution plan to help you solve the biggest problems people go through when starting their first business. So we're going to cover finding the right product, generating the correct targeted traffic of people who are ready to purchase your products, and then we're going to cover automating the time-consuming parts of the business so you can have complete freedom whilst making over 6 figures a year. So what we're basically going to do is find out exactly what's holding you back from making $100,000 a year, and then we're going to create a customized step-by-step game plan to get you there. Okay, so we're going to do everything for you. So who is this for? This is for startup entrepreneurs who are looking for the best possible opportunity to get started making a 6-figure income online with very low risk. This is also for entrepreneurs that have existing businesses who want to supplement their incomes and generate more cash flow on the side. And this is for employees who are looking to quit the 9-to-5 jobs and start a business of your own. And I feel for you guys because I was working 3 jobs at a time and it's unbearable. So I definitely feel for you guys. Also, university students who don't want to wait, I definitely feel for you guys as well. Why would you want to wait 3 to 4 years to get a certificate which will cost you a few $100,000, which will allow you to start working a 9-to-5 job? Look, guys, if you don't want to wait and you're a university student, this is definitely the best option for you. Or if you're a current e-commerce or dropshipping store owner, and you're a bit confused and you're looking to increase your sales and grow your current stores, then this is for you as well. Okay, so let's look at who this is not for. So this is not for people who make excuses and complain. We don't need any of them. So this is not for people who are stuck in information gathering mode and not prepared to take action and get results. We need people who are ready to commit, to take action and to get results. And again, this is not for people who are not serious about making at least $100,000 a year. Okay, so if you're not serious about making 100K a year, then this is not for you. I'm sorry. So the better the fit, the better the results. So now knowing that we're a good fit is really important because I like to get all of my students results and work with them long term. And to do that, I need to make them money quick. Okay, and the truth is, some people, I can't help them. And if that's the case, I'm going to be 100% upfront and I'm going to suggest an alternative or something else. Okay, so I'm only looking for people that are a good fit, people that I know I'm 100% sure I can get results for, and people that are going to commit, because I can guarantee this works 100% of the time. Mark my words. If you can follow this process that we teach, you're going to be making sales within 30 days, guaranteed, okay? So what to do next? So the first step is to complete an application for a private strategy session below. And this application is necessary to determine, one, that if I can help you and if I'm the best person that can help you get to $100,000 per year. And number two, that you're ready to step up, that you're ready to commit and take action and do the required work to get the results. And I can't stress this enough, guys. This is like science. Okay, so if you follow what we teach step by step, you will start making money. So now once I receive your application, you'll be able to schedule a time with myself and my team to conduct your strategy session. And this is where we really start working together to figure out exactly what you want and how to make it happen in the fastest time possible with predictability. Okay, and then at the end of the call, one or two things will happen. You will either be a fit and we'll extend an invitation into our exclusive one-on-one mentoring program. And if you're not a good fit, then that's totally okay too. There's going to be no hard feelings or obligations or anything like that. But either way, you will receive so much value from this strategy session, and you will walk away with a step-by-step game plan to take you from where you are now all the way to where you want to be. So I can guarantee that this is going to be the most valuable 30 minutes you invest in your life this year. All right, so go ahead. If you feel like this is right for you, go ahead, complete your application now, and we'll see if we're a good fit. And just remember, this is a personal, custom, tailored one-on-one strategy session just for you with me and my team. And we only have a limited number of spots for these strategy sessions. And let me tell you, they're booking out really, really fast. Okay, so it's not going to be open for long. So if you think this is right for you, if you truly believe you're ready to take action and make a change in your life and reach 6 figures a year, then click the button below, follow the instructions on the next page, and then book in your call with myself and my team so you don't miss out. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Click below and I look forward to seeing you on the calls.